Hi friends, I'm Prairie Vintage. My name's Linda. I'm an energy intuitive reader here on YouTube. I use spirit, my intuition, and the tarot to communicate energies to you guys. So what are we looking at? Well, I don't know. It's a mixed bag reading here. It's going to be whatever the cards want to show you. Now, after I put everything together, I got a download here that because this is the day of the blue moon, super moon when I'm recording, although you could be watching this whenever, this message will resonate the most for you because all my readings are timeless, so you are at the right place here. The message came through that this might be something to reflect on, or that you've been reflecting on, or to give it more thought. It doesn't have to necessarily be, because again, like when I pulled these cards, it was just like whatever was supposed to come through. But as we know, energy works all intertwined. So 3 piles to choose from today. I don't know what you're going to see. I have no idea what I'm going to call this video. It might be the surprise bag from 7-Eleven. I have no idea. I don't know if they still have those. Goes to show how long ago I used to shop at 7-Eleven. All right. So as a child, we are always drawn to what's in the bag, right? And then you feel the bag, and then you're drawn to the one that feels the greatest, and then you always regret it because it most likely was just one big thing. And the ones that, well, whatever, I'm going into detail, but whatever it was that you chose was, after you open, you're like, damn it, I wonder what's the other one. And sometimes you go back and buy the other one, and if you're fortunate enough to go there or have enough money. Okay, so 3 piles, beautiful collective. What are we looking at? Pile number 1, the Crow Tarot. And interesting enough, this is by MJ Cullinane, and same with pile number 2. And I did not do that on purpose, although nothing is accidental here in this channel. Pile number 2, the Guardian of the Night Tarot, could very well be connected. And what's interesting is cards were getting swapped from pile 2 to pile 3 when I was pulling the cards, so could very well be these two are connected. I have no idea, but as you know, in this channel, all energy is connected, and generally the piles may connect in some fashion. All right, we have the Ethereal Visions deck by Matt Hughes for option 3. So I will put the timestamp in the description box and in the pinned comment. See you at your pick, beautiful people. Hello, my gorgeous. Option number 1, you picked the Crow Tarot. How exciting. Let's get into your surprise bag reading. What is this reading about? I don't know, but when I pulled the cards, my intention was to deliver something for you that spirit, whatever it is. I don't know. I don't know if it's something you need to hear right now or what, but as I pulled the cards afterwards, I did get a download, like I said, that this is something maybe you need to reflect on, or something that you are reflecting on, or need to, again, shift back to and give it more thought. I don't know. We'll see. And I'm super excited to deliver this message for you. Now, please keep in mind that this is all about your intuition. So you're going to come up with something you're going to see, feel, hear that will confirm to you this is your pile, because there's no way I can do that for you. I can only deliver the energy and the message here. So if it doesn't feel right, chances are it's not your pile. Now, feel right if it feels like something, it's triggering something within you, but you're connecting to it and it still feels a little bit weird, it could still be your pile, right? But if you're just not resonating, like it doesn't connect, then it's not your pile, okay? Because sometimes our pile might be a little uncomfortable depending where you are on your journey. So let us take a look at this, and then we'll pull some tarot. I have not looked at these at all. This was just a random surprise pull here from 7-Eleven. All right, so let's look. Oh, look, we have love. I commit to the practice of seeing the good in all things. Power of love. Love vibrates at the highest frequency here energetically. I'm beginning to love your pile. Pile number 2. Pile number 1. Oh my God, I told you they're connected. I don't know why I told you pile 2. Pile 1. Magical power. Oh my goodness. Magical power. Now, dragonflies for me really depends on the reading here, but sometimes it comes through as an illusion. Okay, it could be an illusion, something being an illusion, a belief of an illusion, or hanging on to some sort of an illusion, not seeing through an illusion. But the dragonfly can also mean immortality and agility, the fact that we have magical power here. There could be something here in regards to either you not believing in something, or you're having to see through something in order to gain whatever power and get empowered here. We'll connect it back to love. We'll see. I'll pull all the cards before I give you what the main message is here. So we have Green Tea Tara with Supreme Protection. You are protected. Cords are being cut. Move beyond limitation and trust. Wow. Isn't that intense? That is intense. And we have a lot of purple, crown chakra and third eye chakra. And then we have the green, which is heart chakra here. Okay. So dark moon. Oh my goodness, dark moon. Well, we're having the brightest moon tonight, obviously, depending when you watch here. Number 13. 13 is all about transformation because that's the death card in the tarot. It says here, in the dark of your heart lives new breath, waiting for you to release its ghost. So, ties back beautifully with this cords being cut and move beyond some limitation to trust the process and your power to do so, tying back to love. Okay, last quarter moon in Scorpio, reveal what needs to be seen. What did I say? Illusions, reveal what needs to be seen. So there's something here, I feel, that has most likely always been here that we're needing to see through, see a truth of something, see through a veil of sorts that will help us, okay, that will help us. Maybe we're having troubles cutting cords, maybe we're having troubles moving beyond some sort of set limitation because we're seeing something that potentially isn't real or that we believe to be true, but we're needing to transform, okay? And this is all what this full moon does. I mean, the full moon really makes you sit and think and get a clear understanding, and no matter how painful. And that's why sometimes it is very intense here. And I feel like with this super moon, I'm hearing a lot of people going through really intense, painful sort of transition here, which is great. It means they're leveling up, right? And some people feel absolutely great. And I got to admit, this full moon, I feel like I just feel a sense of liberation. Although, yes, very charged with energy. I'm also very chatty for some reason. It's like I could see clearer, understand something clearer. Like it's coming with this clarity for me. So it's like, it doesn't come with confusion and pain here. It's like it just comes with this clarity. So, I mean, getting clear about something could maybe mean that you just see it clearer. You know, you see it clearer, whatever it was. You can now see it for what it is. Reveal what needs to be seen. All right, so first house here with arrival, number 39, or the number 12. Okay, well, this is all about self and our appearances and the beginnings and our body, the first impression, our attitude, our identity, how we're approaching life here. So, okay, we have 14, or number 5, with the distance. See the sun in the background here. 5's all about that change, right? So we're looking at soul transformation and then changes. So changes could be a bit challenging here. Shifts could be challenging. We have 11:11, take me home, pathway to true love. What is the pathway to true love? It's learning how to love yourself. It's coming back home to yourself. All right, that is true love. That's when we ascend. We start to understand that it's all about us. Everything here is about us, bringing us back to who we are, our core self, our authentic self. Okay, so that's the pathway. So, wow, you guys are really shifting in a big way. Pile number 1, chaos and conflict. That's that number 5 we were talking about. Things start to change. Okay, so 3-3, you might be seeing 3-3. And look, this zebra is painted like a giraffe, and the giraffe coating is falling off, or the other way around. No, it can't be the other way around because it's shaped like a zebra, Linda. See what I mean? I'm seeing through the veil. So, zebra shape. painted like a giraffe. Now the giraffe color, you would think that you'd see the zebra paint falling off, not the giraffe paint. This is a detail here. This is interesting for me because this is definitely a zebra and it didn't look like a giraffe, but what is falling off of it is zebra paint. So that is interesting. It's actually a giraffe pattern in a zebra body. Okay, this is giving me a lot of information here, a little bit overloaded here, but whew, that's intense. So I'm not going to pull the tarot just yet, okay? We will pull tarot, but what am I getting here for you guys? Everything kind of in cohesion, and then we hit this card, which made me feel a little bit weird, and I'll tell you why. It's because I feel like you guys are at a point in your healing journey, your ascension, whatever it is you're going through, and we all have situations we go through in which we start our spiritual journey, our enlightenment. We get closer to who we are. It doesn't matter what's triggered it. Could have been another person, could have been a tragic whatever. Could have been anything at all that, or just ourselves. All of a sudden, we start to go on this journey because we're triggered in such a way that Spirit knows it's time for us. So you've been on it for a while, I feel here, you know, and you're at the point here where there's like this step that you need to walk through, and I feel it's pretty heavily charged because it is like the final release, I feel here, of still this attachment you might have to the 3D world here. And I feel you've been working hard, you've been shifting and changing, although I think it was bit by bit and just seemed like the other shoe was not dropping. I feel there's an actual acceptance here of something here that's been trying to push through for some time, that you've had either a difficult time embracing, but you felt it was there, you just couldn't put your finger on it, and now we're seeing what it is. We actually see, and we know maybe we've surrendered to the fact that we have to surrender something, or we've accepted the fact that something is what it is here. And I feel like this is a pretty painful part in this journey, because although probably the most liberating and freeing, and it doesn't happen completely overnight, for some it may, but as you guys know, it is quite the process. So it might take us a few days. It might take us a week, right? For this process here to fully transition out. But I feel like we're finally severing the last little bit or little toe that's still touching whatever side of the other side here that we were trying to move out of here. It's like a doorway. It's a pathway that we're kind of exiting here, and we're seeing now why it is that we must fully surrender, release, accept something here. And it's bringing us closer to ourselves, which is the truest form of love here. Okay, so no matter how much we love someone else, or how much maybe we've been connected to a certain situation here, circumstance, whatever it is that we were really heavily involved with, we've been slowly shifting the energy towards us, but there was still this disconnect from fully tapping into either why we were doing it, or fully with the intention of leaning in with our energy towards ourselves, right? Because we could believe it to be something we have to do. We can understand it on a mind level, and it could make complete sense here. And we have no idea what's going on in our subconscious, but something feels a little disconnected. So great to review our intention, right? How are we actually feeling? And we know we could be honest with ourselves when we go into these places and say, is this exactly how I'm feeling? Is there a disconnect from what I'm saying and from what I'm feeling here? So I feel like there's cohesion here, because the intention now is gearing up towards exactly what you know you're supposed to be really doing here, and what you're really supposed to be doing for you. For everybody it looks different here, but what you're doing for you is always bringing you closer to who you are. It's bringing you home, okay? Home means the truth of who you are, where you're supposed to be going. Now, it's challenging, right? The big transformation, the soul transformation with the number 13 here, and then the challenge is having to go through those pains, because sometimes we just break down, we start crying, but we're not even sure what we're crying about, or we're not sure why we feel those heavy emotions, or all of a sudden it hits us with something, but we can't tie it back to anything here. Okay, but that's good. That's what we've been shoving down the subconscious. It's coming up. It's coming up, and when we cry or when we release it, when it makes itself available to us to see through it, it's now revealed. It can't go back down. Okay, and we have to transmute this, whatever this is, and it can never be back to the same, which means we're healing it. Okay, however it comes out, however it manifests. Maybe we laugh like crazy. Maybe we cry all night, right? I don't know. Maybe we meditate and there we see it, and we get this feeling, this overwhelming feeling of however it manifests through us. It's coming through the subconscious. So I'm feeling here, though, that although, yes, it is severing, I feel like now the journey begins. And I know you don't want to hear this, but now the journey begins. Pile number 1. Because I still feel here, although we are now, yeah, we're on the pathway to true love. We're on the pathway to self. And now it becomes other things here that we need to figure out for ourselves. Okay, for ourselves. Because I feel like all this was still for us, but it was like the final toe was stuck on the other side of the doorway, so you couldn't quite close it, or you couldn't quite go through that portal, right? So once you close it, it's like, okay, now the journey begins. Now you close the door, and now your toe's in, safe, and now the portal, just like Super Mario Brothers, it's going to warp you to whatever world, and now you're in that world, but you still got to conquer this world. I mean, you don't want to conquer anything, but there's still a world to explore for you. Pile number 1, and what this world is going to do is now change you in ways you wouldn't even believe. And it's so insane because with magical power here and the fact that we have a zebra that is truly a giraffe here, I feel, okay, it is truly a giraffe. And people say, well, no, the whole point is that it's a zebra and it's shedding, it's giraffing. No, this, I don't know. I keep staring at this and I don't know if I'm seeing something wrong here, but this zebra is you, and it's like zebra stripes are falling off and it's left with this giraffe thing, which tells me that now you're able to wander in this new world and explore, and this shape is going to have to eventually go look like a giraffe. It's going to ascend. Its neck's going to go up. It's going to get higher and taller, and it's ascending still. Okay, so this is just a process, and I know it might suck because you're like, oh my god, I gotta go through more. Like, I feel like I'm finally liberated and free, and this is a great feeling once you close the door, not on your toe, and maybe you've attempted it and that's why it hurts. You keep closing that door and your toes in there and you're like, ow, 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 and you can never close that door. I did the crystal ball reading the other day, and that was that door keeps opening, closing, opening, closing. Maybe you resonate with the opening, closing of the door here, but I feel like there was something here you knew had to be cut, or you had to move beyond this limitation. You had to go through that doorway. And that door just, it was a stubborn door, okay? The rebel toe didn't want to come with you. So you finally do that, and it feels really, really good, you know, even though you didn't want to close the door maybe, or it was very just painful, and you're like, I just wish I would have been on the other side, never even seen that door. Maybe you're glad you've seen the door, but whatever it is painful to go through the process, but finally the toe's in, finally the door is closed, and now there's this journey to explore. I mean, life comes with pain. I can't say you're never going to have pain, but I don't think what's in store for you, pile number 1, is going to feel anything like this, because this is dark night of the soul stretched out, right? It could be the pain point of your journey here, the lowest of the lows that you're exiting out of, and it could have taken you, you know, a year. It could have taken you a week. It could have taken you however long it takes you, because we're all in different parts of our ascension, and sometimes people can heal parts of themselves a lot easier here, depending on the severity of how tied they are, how deep the wound goes, and their traumas, and and how clogged their chakras could be, right? With the stuck energy that needs to flow through, that goes from root all the way through their crown, and the process that happens here, if they're having a kundalini, I'm assuming some of you guys are, maybe some of you guys aren't having kundalini, but there's something here about you ascending, and finally you're in the new world, okay? And the new world here is going to stretch you, and it's going to make you grow, and it's really going to be who you are. And who you are here is a beautiful, magical thing that's transforming into your true self. And like I said, love vibrates at the highest frequency. So this feeling, this pure feeling of bliss and authenticity and love is towards you. And once you carry that, it never goes away. You cannot take it away. Things can happen to you, sure. You know, things that make you sad, I mean, sure. But the pain, we disconnect from intense, severe pains because we're now in an energy that we understand the universe does things for us, and we work with the universe. We don't resist. We don't suffer pains as deeply because we now know how to transmute any pains that we have, you know, anything that comes to us that might be painful or unpleasant. We now know how to deal with it, transmute it, make the most of it, do something here that allows us to accept. Sometimes life puts things in front of us that we're not expecting, and it might not feel pleasant, but how do we deal with it? And I think now you know how to deal with it here, and it's a magical, beautiful thing, because a lot of people do not get to this stage. They are in the rat race. They don't realize they have a lot of control over how they engage with their universe. You are engaging here. Okay, let us pull some tarot just to see what, since obviously, I mean, I pulled tarot, but I think that message is quite beautiful and clear. Pile number one. Let's just see what's in this surprise bag. What's in the surprise bag here reading for you? Spirits, thank you so much for this beautiful message for pile number one. For the greatest and highest good, can I get 5 cards here, or as many as you feel need to come with this message for pile number one? Okay, so pile one, we have the Two of Pentacles in reverse. We have 8 of Pentacles in reverse. We have the 6 of Wands in reverse. We have the Ace of Pentacles, and we have the 10 of Wands in reverse. Okay, so reversals. And the only one not in reverse here is the Ace of Pentacles, a beautiful card, because this is the seed of hope for future. So everything that happened behind that doorway, okay, was one existence. We cut the cord, we closed the door, we went through the warp here to the other world. So I feel like this represents what I was telling you. It's like the beginning of the real journey here. And what this means to me is the burden has now been lifted. Okay, the burden, the most painful part, because when we get the 10 of Wands, we're at the point where we can't no more. We can't carry no more, and eventually it breaks. The pain is too heavy to carry. It is too heavy to carry. We can't no more. And one thing too many snaps the camel's back, like I say, and then it just, the sticks, the wands, whatever, it falls everywhere, and we got to just keep on moving. So we cut the tie. Maybe we move on without the camel, right? Whatever it is, now we can't no more in this state of all of the burden we were carrying with pain. I do feel it is the painful lessons here that we had to finally release, cut the tie. We're now through this portal, this new world, okay? But this is talking a little bit about the journey here, because I feel like the message here predominantly are the cards showing here, because maybe you're still questioning what exactly this sort of energy is. And it's like an energy here where, like I said, the toes kind of stuck in the door, and there was maybe a back and forth, and there was a difficulty actually severing the tie or closing the door or making the full commitment. And we might have been indecisive. We might have had to choose to bring the toe in, and for whatever reason, although we might have wanted to, we didn't know why we kept our toe in the door. Subconsciously something was going on here, and I feel like what we've done is we finally made the decision. Okay, we made this decision. We're no longer in a state of influx here, and I feel like we're no longer investing ourselves kind of in I feel like this is like the practical world for me, okay? Because, I mean, it's not that all of a sudden you're totally disconnected from reality. We still live in this material world, but I feel like you're no longer putting in whatever you were feeding, whatever energy. This is energy in your world. So on the other side of that door, you are continuously, actively still somehow engaged in something that kept that toe in, whether you're actively doing it or not. I feel like there's a surrender. There is a release. There is a surrender, okay? There is a no longer being in a state of I don't know, like having to win in this world, you know, there's like a surrender, a release. It's like, it's okay if I don't get what I want here. This is like a surrender. I'm getting this surrendering ego. Okay. So I feel like you guys are going through an ego death, finally, or whatever piece of unhealthy bit here that was still making you feel like you had to engage somehow in some way that was not for your highest good. It was not healthy. I feel like you finally surrender, you finally release, and now you can focus on what is in store for you. Beautiful pile number 1 here, in order for you to ascend to the greatest version of yourself. After having gone through the war with the chaos and conflict, it doesn't feel good, right? It didn't feel good. And now we're wondering, like, what's going to feel good here? Because it seems like the bulk of all of this, like, although we know we're headed somewhere positive, it is painful as hell, right? So, beautiful pile 1. That's your surprise bag message here from the universe, from spirit, for this full moon, blue moon. I absolutely love you guys. You guys are wonderful. This is beautiful healing energy. I see the shift. And if you've been following me for a while, bless you so much. I love to see this type of reading. I hope we only go up from here in the other 2 readings, although I know we are all on different parts in our journey, and I do hope that I can continue to be in this journey with you, even far beyond you even needing me. You just like to hear me yap, but I feel as though some of you guys might drop off at this point because you're now here, and sometimes I can't go here with you, and sometimes other people can't go here with you. You know, you've closed that door to the world, and maybe close the door to YouTube because you're just now whatever. I don't know. You're doing something here. I feel I can't go with you. I want to, you know, but that's your journey, and I wish you guys the very, very best. If you do stay here, I am honored to have you here, and maybe you can shed some light for me as well in your journey and help other people here who might be, you know, 10 piles down. I don't know, but that would be wonderful, and it makes my heart sing to have you here, okay? So I love you guys very much. I will see you soon. Bye-bye. Hello, my gorgeous pile number 2. You pick the Guardian of the Night Tarot. Can't wait to get into your surprise reading. What's this reading about? I have no idea. I just pulled the cards, did not look at them, and what I asked Spirit here was, let it be a surprise message here. Let whatever comes out, comes out. And then when I got everything set up, Spirit gave me a heavy download, just saying maybe it's something you got to reflect on, or something that you have been reflecting on here, and there's some insight coming kind of to help you here, okay? So I am recording in the full moon, super moon, the blue moon here, although this is timeless, but this message is certainly for you if you resonate, okay? So come up with what you will feel, hear, or see, so it can confirm to you that this is indeed your message. Let us take a look. Pile number 2, friendship. I understand that a friend is in my life for a reason. Beautiful. Oh, courage. That is beautiful with the lion. That's cute. Okay, we have Diana. Focused intention. Think about what you desire. Set your sights high. Expect the best possible outcome. Wow, I don't know. Expect the best possible outcome could lead to disappointments. This is scary. That's the first thought I got. This is giving me High Priestess energy too. Divine Feminine, intuition. I'm getting heavy Sagittarius here from this card, you guys. So you might be resonating with the Sagittarius. And Aries as well coming through, and then of course Leo, because we have the lion here. Wow, that's all the signs. I didn't intend to call out all of you fire signs. I'm getting all the fire signs here, okay? I think they're getting grounded too, is what I'm picking up here energetically. The fire signs are getting grounded, so beautiful. And I'm getting heavy crown chakra energy coming through here for you guys. Now, the fire energy here does not necessarily have to be in your sun sign, okay? It could certainly be in your moon sign here as well. But what I'm feeling really from these fire signs is there's this passionate side of you. There's the fiery side of you that the fire signs have, being empowered, being driven, being inspired, all of that stuff. And I feel like we're getting some sort of download here, or at least we're now receptive. We're now opening the crown chakra. We're now connecting to spirit. And I feel like somehow this is grounding us. So we could have been floating around a lot, because when we open our crown chakra, like I was explaining in some readings, is like when you start getting intuitive and you open that up, you can float around here, right? And you float around, and then it's learning how to harness what you're getting here and connect it back and find some way to ground yourself to bring you to reality here, because sometimes we feel very disconnected from the matrix and 3D when we are tapped into another dimension, so to speak, when we are connecting to a higher level. What's helped me is you know, grounding stones, doing things that help you get grounded, walking in nature, sitting outside barefoot with your feet in the soil, in the grass, whatever it is that's connecting you back to nature, meditation. Sometimes dreams are therapeutic, sometimes releasing emotions, saying what's on our mind, writing in our journal really allows us to articulate and feel and review and go back and make it right how we're feeling. We release, helps us to ground. And then this thing, like I showed you guys, I don't know, anyway, this is grounding oil. So when I was doing readings, and I'm sure some of you guys do readings here intuitively, whether you call them readings or not, you're connecting to some other dimension here, and maybe it's difficult to come back or to bring it back to how you're supposed to implement into some sort of reality. This grounding oil helped me, right? Do what it takes. Salt baths, you know, rose quartz. What you can do is fill water, and in the super moon, it's heavily charged. Put your rose quartz in there and allow that energy to flow out of the water here. But any which way, I'm getting strong energy here. Let's keep going because I went off on that. Okay, so we have witch 43. Grab hold. Allow the dwelling fire within belly awaken all that is. These cards always, to me, either I don't know how to read, most likely, but they're like old English. So let me read it again. Grab hold. Allow the dwelling fire within belly awaken all that is. A mere glimpse, a delicate pull at the very roots, living in the alchemy of self. Oh my God. What did I say? Getting it grounded, pulling it in. This full moon is giving me the craziest connection to spirit here, okay? Like intuition at an all-time high. You might be feeling that. Okay, look how similar these girls are here, okay? This is essentially what I just went off on a tangent here. Okay, and the witchy stuff I was talking about, right? Maybe the woohoo stuff that people might not really totally, you know, dive into, like with the crystals, with the moon energy. Like now we're engaging in this with herbs, maybe this is the first time ever you've done it. Maybe you've done it forever, but I feel like there's a connection here, and now you're grounding yourself in some way. 43 is coming through quite heavy and significant here. It might be your age, you might be 34. Flip the numbers. But if you add them together, that's the number 7, and the number 7 is the Chariot, and the Chariot is being victorious in the universe, moving us forward, allowing us to get balanced. Okay, balanced, integrating our shadow. But what that means to me is if we're all up in our crown, that's great. We're now intuitive. We now connect with spirit. We're now in this woohoo energy. But it's like it doesn't mean anything if our 3D life is all topsy-turvy and the Chariot's flipped upside down. So I feel like you're now grounding this energy and you're able to navigate through here. And that is what's called alchemizing energy. What do you do with that energy, right? You're essentially an alchemist of energy here, okay? Which is what I've been preaching that I'm trying to do here in this channel. So I feel like you're doing this within your own life here. And with the courage card, that took a lot of courage to get to where you are, you know? You had to, like, this friendship is coming through as now finally understanding what it is to really connect, you know, connect with other people, connect to ourselves. Like friendship is a very, it's a very deep card because it all stems back to love. You know, we can't be friends really on a core level. A true friendship has to be based on love. So I feel like that's the core. And sometimes we have to, you know, go within our courage here to face whatever fear, or we have to look at something here in order for us to fully allow a process to happen. So let's take a look. What do we have? We have full moon and Sagittarius. Did I not first get Sagittarius from this card here? See the bigger picture. See the bigger picture. And what's the bigger picture? Bigger picture is, maybe you're wondering, why am I getting all this information? And now we're floating around, and the bigger picture, I feel, is pulling that in. What are we manifesting here in the 3D? What are we doing to harness this energy? Okay, there's a reason why you're in this sort of state. We got to see the big picture. What's this all about? All right, so 54. Number 9, we have square, semi-square, concuxed with tension. tension. And look, we have 2 birds and we have friendship here. Something might need to be reviewed here, you guys. There might be something here we're not quite seeing. Abundance, number 1. All the fish. We have practice self-love with 1010, nurture your inner child. And we have the tribe, number 8. Giraffe, interesting. This came out in 1, and I was saying how these piles might be interconnected somehow, and could very well be, because here I see the giraffe now. Okay, I'm not going to spoiler alert 1. You can, if you're called, you can see it. But the tribe is all about, you know, our soul family, and maybe us having to recognize who is, or us having to leave something here. I don't know if this baby giraffe is leaving mama, you know, for a journey, or if it's coming home to mama. But either which way, I mean, the tribe is the friendship here, whether it is family or just a friend or a neighbor up the street. But there's something here about, you know, recognizing our soul family here, coming home, or needing to detach from what we thought was home. It's coming either which way. And 8 is the strength card in the tarot. So the strength card in the tarot talks about us having to face some sort of fear we might not want to do completely. Okay, and it might be a fear that we've suppressed somehow, but it's a within thing. It's not out there. You know, it's like something we have to overcome within us by using our courage here. And that's what I'm getting from here. It's like this baby giraffe's going to have to dig really deep here in order to leave his mom to go do whatever, if that is his mom, right? Maybe he has to go out explore and leave his mom for a bit. That's a scary thing. Or maybe this baby giraffe, that was never his mom, and now she's like, okay, time to go, because you're not my son, and I just went on Maury, and I guess the mother would know if it's her son. Whatever, she didn't know that's not her son, so out he goes. And now he's like, you know, needs to find something within himself, because I just got punted out of here. But it's okay, because everything's kind of meant to be, and I don't really want to be with my fake mom. I want to be with my authentic mom. So if that means I go up the street, and maybe mom's house is right here. Maybe he wandered here thinking that was his home. She's like, no, dear, up the street's your mom. So now he has clarity. Now he knows. I don't know what it really is here, but I do see a mask here hidden in the hay of this teepee, or whatever this is made out of. And masks to me is always where there's some sort of a cover-up we're putting on something, or seeing it in a different way than it really is. And that's why maybe I felt this was the fake mom. Okay, so why do we do this? Is because somewhere in our subconscious, we might not actively be doing it. We're putting up some sort of falsity, some sort of way of being here, so that we can protect ourselves on a deep level. So there's always healing, as we know, no matter how in your crown you are, no matter how much information you have, no matter how much you released some sort of ego here, there's maybe more in the subconscious here coming through here as something we're having to see. And I feel it could tie back to our soul family, the people in our lives. We're having conflict, we're having tension here, right? We're butting up against someone here who may not want to play nice, maybe someone more in their ego, maybe not, maybe someone who's fully released their ego, and they're identifying something that's triggering you out of some state, because you still have something maybe you don't see about yourself here. Okay, because I feel this is really about yourself, having to manage something about yourself. And I think you really have to look at it, like, look how intense the stares are on all of these 3 cards. Like, these 3 cards, if someone was staring at you like that, like, you know they're in deep thought, and they're contemplating something very deep. Okay, if someone's staring at you like that, like, this person is very deep. There's heavy thought going on here in reflection. And look, this person too, like, very intense. Like, what is this? This person is thinking about the bigger picture here. You know, what is the bigger picture? How do I be the bigger person here? Do I keep causing issues? Is it me? Because I always thought maybe it was this person. I always thought that was my mom. Something here that we're now, okay, maybe I'm the one who keeps being the obstacle here. Maybe, I don't know, I'm not saying your problem, but maybe. And maybe that's tough to go within and say, I'm the one causing this tension, I'm the one causing this block, or a belief I have is not allowing things to flow, whether I'm right or wrong, whether I was right or wrong, whether the situation needs to go this way or that way, or I believe the true thing is that. The point being is we're hitting tension with someone else, I feel, okay, or maybe a set of people, or in a situation where people are involved. And I might be right, but the Dr. Phil thing's coming through. It's like, would you rather be happy, or would you rather just be right and say, but I'm right? And then you keep this state of tension, right? So something within you, I think you got to kind of look at here and maybe be the bigger person in accepting the fact that maybe someone is the problem, but how we're engaging is not helping the situation, which says about us, because we can only control ourselves here, okay? But with friendship here, I feel like there is a love here that's going to help guide you, and true love is going to allow yourself to say, you know what, I need to go then find my real mom, and I need to drop whatever connection, attachment I might have had here, because maybe that's not what it is, right? I don't know. And like I said, maybe he's coming or going. I'm not quite sure, but the story I gave was he was leaving, and I feel that's more the energy I'm feeling here to communicate that. But look, nurture your inner child. Practice self-love. And this is a child I felt, and this was the mom I felt. So what is this? I don't know. There's something going on within you that might have been, you know, cultivated from when you were a child here, and so you're still in this lesson of self-love, and maybe that's what you're butting up against here. Maybe your internal self, part of yourself you're hitting here, because this doesn't have to be external person, but you know, maybe that's your ego self battling with your true authentic self in some way, or your higher self. You're resisting something here. So the only way to get through this isn't to keep doing the same thing, is to do something different. Go within, see what it is. Okay, we're getting closer to resolving some inner child thing in order to ascend some more. Okay, so these seem to all be about ascension here, but I'm going to pull some tarot and see what else Spirit is wanting to communicate for you guys. Pile number 2. Spirit, clear and concise message here for pile number 2. Thank you so much for the greatest and highest good. Whatever wants to support this message, what they need to hear. Thank you so much, pile number 2, for allowing me to tap into your beautiful energy. So we have the Emperor, empowerment. Did I not say Aries? I felt fire. This is about, again, the fiery energy, getting empowered. Okay, getting empowered. We have to do something here, and because if we just keep kind of reactionary, maybe, you know, the resistance, whatever it is that we continuously do, we stop, intensely think about it, and then we take action. So Emperor's taking action here, Aries, with some wisdom. Okay, the Emperor doesn't act blind. The Emperor then acts out of some wisdom. He understands something and then acts in wisdom here, fully well knowing something here. So maybe you're understanding what that knowledge is so that you can act in wisdom and take action here, because I feel like you're needing to take action in some way. Focused intention. That's exactly what I was saying. Okay, temperance here, and it was in reverse. So the temperance is alchemy, right? How do we take this information? How do we take what we're getting here in the crown and ground ourselves? That's all about this temperance, because we have to blend energies in such a way that we temper situations, you know? This doesn't look very tempered here. This is out of balance, because anytime there's tension, resistance, it's like we're not tempering a situation. So things might be imbalanced here, and you're needing to find a way to bring cohesion to a situation where there's tension. You know, just found out on Maury that this isn't my mom. So now I need to do something with the information I have here in order to bring things back into balance. I know Maury doesn't say this isn't my mom, but I don't know. That's my story here. Okay, 10 of Pentacles, family. Okay, like I said, friendship could be family. And I feel like this could be a situation you've been involved with for quite some time, because 10 of Pentacles is a very long time, you know. It's the family card. It's our security for future here. So where's this little giraffe gonna go? You know, now it's like, now the giraffe really has to contemplate what is really then my long-term future like, because I mean, what are the chances he's going to come across another fake mom? Like, now I think the giraffe is now free, and the giraffe's now free, although painful. Maybe he got kicked out. It's like, He's got to find his real mom so he can really like come home here, okay? Come home here. So practicing self-love, nurturing whatever wounds, whatever hurt, in order to build something stable. Because once we learn to temper a situation, you know, we find balance, then we're able to build something that's long-standing, something that is worth having for the long term here. Seven of Pentacles, yeah, then we put in the energy, then we're able to feed whatever situation is here until it grows to a 10 of Pentacles, you know. But if we don't know what we're supposed to be watering, if we don't know what we're supposed to be, what energy we're supposed to be focused intention towards, we can run the risk of going down some other path here. And the path, I feel, was not your path, or at least it was a path that was causing resistance here in some way. And we have the Two of Cups. That essentially is going from this, figuring out how to do this, temperance, so that the outcome is now this, because you don't want to be here. I mean, this doesn't feel good when you have tension, that you know something's up. You know, there's either resistance, pain, something's happening here, and stemming from, you know, your inner child within yourself. We could blame other people, right? But yeah, they are who they are, whatever's going on there. But what within ourselves might be keeping us here? Because we're choosing to be here if we feel this, because we could choose to not be here. And how do we do that? We got to figure out a way with temperance to take that tension, to take that resistance, to take that difficult person, that whatever situation is, figure out a way, because right now we're having a lopsided feeling here. We know something's up. That's why we have feelings and emotions telling us, hey, something's up, man. You got to do something about this because you know better. Or at least you carry the information, whether you want to see it or not, it's up to you. But you're going to have to act. You can't, you know, can't depend on this person to change or the situation to change if you keep consistently doing the same thing. Yeah, maybe the person might all of a sudden realize, move out of your way. Maybe they don't. But are you going to allow the mercy of your happiness to be controlled by this other external thing or whatever's going on there? No, you're going to need to go within, have very focused intention towards what it is you need to do to find this balance, so that now we have cohesion. Okay, now we can work with the situation here, and maybe we don't get what we want, but we're like, okay, I know now how to be cohesive with this person, you know. And sometimes it is releasing what it is that we wanted. You know, we might have wanted something here, but it's like true friendship isn't about what I get out of it, right? And maybe that's it. That's the lesson here, is like, you know what? I can be your friend. I can be your friend out of a place of love here. Okay, out of a shitty situation, because here we have the lotus. So, I mean, the lotus growing in mud, like we said, out of some sort of situation where maybe it was very murky and where you couldn't cultivate something or didn't think things would grow and cultivate. You're now cultivating something out of nothing. You're making magic happen here, okay? Temperance, making magic happen as the alchemist, turning lead into gold. Whatever wasn't working is now working because you were able to figure it out. You were able to do it. You weren't stuck saying, why doesn't this person do that? And this person is the reason why this. And I'm not saying you're blaming external, but there's something like this that weren't seeing here, okay? And maybe we need to reflect on that. But I do feel love here, and I do see that this is saying focus on the bigger picture. So I don't know, this kind of came through in the zodiac yesterday with one of your signs, and I think this might have been it was an air sign, Aquarius. I think this was Aquarius, you guys, someone you're not talking to. Okay, that's only for some of you guys resonating here, but it could be for any sign, really. So beautiful people, this is what I have for you. If you were inclined to go check out another pile, you can, and I will see you soon. Bye. Hello, beautiful pile number 3. I am so thrilled to be here to do your reading. Cannot wait to get into it. You picked the Ethereal Visions deck, and we are looking at this surprise bag because we don't know what we're going to see. And when I pulled these oracle cards, which I have not looked at, completely random, I asked Spirit for a surprise message here. Whatever it was that Spirit wanted to do in all 3 readings, you know, would have their own unique message. So I was very excited, and then I put everything together, and then Spirit gave me a huge download saying this might be something that this pile person, who the viewer is going to have to reflect on with this full moon, because the full moon's all about reflecting. So either something you are reflecting on or have been reflecting on or should go back to reflect, review, understand something maybe a little different here. I don't know what we're going to see. So very excited. And you guys, for whatever reason, I kept coming an extra card in almost all the decks here, compared to the other piles. So you got doubles of, you know, certain cards here coming out. So let's take a look here. If you're inclined to be drawn to any other pile, you may, because a lot of times whatever was coming out for 2 was getting, I was pulling for 3, saying, nah, it feels more 3. And I don't do that. Whatever falls is falling. But Spirit was saying, that's a 3, that's a 3. And it was really connected here with 2. So I don't know. We'll see. And of course, use your intuition to come up with what you're going to feel, hear, or see that will allow you to resonate with this pile. Don't make it fit. It's just confirmation for you that this is your message. Okay? That's all that is. So let's take a look. Judgment. I understand that everyone has their own unique path and challenges. Yes, everyone is on their own journey here. So this is a state of awareness here. Okay, we have equilibrium, and this one was coming out kind of reverse, right? Interesting with equilibrium. Maybe we're trying to find a way to temper a situation. I'm already feeling pile 2 here for you guys, pile number 3. But anyway, I see the Ace of Cups here. And Ace of Cups is all about an emotional new beginning and filling our own cup here, opening heart space. These are emotions, not quite in the cup. Why are they outside of the cup? Are they coming in? Or are they jumping out? I don't know. Are we releasing emotions here? Judgment. I need to acknowledge something here to come into a realization when it comes to emotions, being outside of ourselves maybe. How do we hone our emotions or get it? I don't know, maybe we're trying to keep it housed in some way. Also getting Ace of Pentacles from this thing here, because I see this big round thing, and Ace of Pentacles is a new beginning, a seed for something we can manifest here for the future, where we can focus our intention and plant roots somehow. Okay, interesting energy. Pile number 3. We have White Eagle, Ancestor Spirit. Connect to your lineage. A family wound or pattern can be healed now. That's intense. We were talking in pile number 2. I don't want to do spoiler alert, but something there that we're having to see within ourselves that sometimes is generated at an early age. And in this case, with this ancestor spirit, it doesn't even have to be in this lifetime. We carry traumas from our energy, from wherever it was, whether you believe in past lives or not. The energy never dies. So energy you have has experienced some sort of trauma at some point. I mean, life wasn't all full of roses forever, right? So wherever before you incarnated here, what was the burden? What was the challenge? What was the trauma that might have had to, I don't know, might have to be released here? Or when we are inside our mother's womb, you know, we are inside your mother's eggs here before you're born, and your mother was inside her grandmother, carrying you at some point. I mean, she wasn't pregnant by you, but she had her eggs within her. I know this is getting into biology, but you know, and so how this grandmother experiences traumas with your mother at the time of birth, and then maybe your mother came out and then you came out, and now you're in whatever sort of state of experiencing things that aren't really even yours to begin with. But I feel like this is connecting to your lineage and revealing some sort of something you're able to heal here now, okay? And it could very well be from your childhood here as well, because that does come down, right? Like if we have something we're doing here, let's just say again, these are examples that will help you connect here and resonate. If all of a sudden you're, I don't know, you have a bad trait, maybe you have an addiction here, okay? And I mean, we see that from our parents, and we learn that type of behavior. Maybe they didn't have the same addiction, but the way they cope, right? And addiction could just be a distraction. Like maybe we don't know how to handle emotion, so we distract ourselves however we do it. I don't know, drinking or sex or video games or isolation or shoplifting or gambling. I don't know. It doesn't have to be all those things. Could just be we don't put our mind there. We pretend it doesn't exist. That's how we distract ourselves. That's not healthy. Okay, I don't care if you're gambling or just not putting your mind there, either which way, something needs to be addressed here, okay, in order to heal. And I feel you're being faced with something here that's allowing you to face something here, to connect to it. You're being called to do something here in regards to feelings, in regards to, I mean, what you're going to, because there's something here that, I don't know, needs to be acknowledged here, okay? So, rebirth, 31. 31 could be significant. Also the number 4 for me is all about stability, and it could be, you know, something that it has no form and having to give it some sort of form or understanding here in order to build some structure in it. I'm also getting 4 of Wands from this, and the 4 of Wands is coming into union. It's a rite of passage. It's a beautiful card here. It says, there's death in all that awakens, for it isn't blissful nor painless. It's a mighty rising, O flame resurrected. So this is like, when I preach about it's not, okay, isn't blissful or painless. It's like the universe will put in front of us something neutral. Okay, so we're in an accident. That's actually neutral. You might say, well, no, it's bad because I lost my legs, okay, for example. But the universe is putting this in front of us. And yes, you can say it's kind of bad, but it's like, how then does the journey happen after that? It could be that the journey all of a sudden, because of this, everything happens right for you because you choose to not allow whatever that situation was to choose a different path that makes you spiral into worse, right? So there's something here about the journey putting something in front of you that you can either see it as something that is negative or going to cause negativity, or you could see it as something that is freeing you. Okay, that is allowing you to actually intervene and do something and change it and see something different. And when you do that, that is you rising, that is you ascending, that is you doing something different, cutting the chain. That is you cutting the chain. You're now addressing, I always do this. I always get distracted. I always, or whatever, or I don't realize that I used to do this. Maybe you don't realize you did it, but now there's a recognition here. And it's like, do I want to continue to do the same thing? Do I want to be oblivious, or do I want to do something different here? Even if it might seem a little painful, but there's something here you're being called to do. Pile number 3. Cauldron. 10. Bewitching. Yes, it be. Blink and you shall see. A bubbling desire left in the brewing rain. So this is kind of giving me magician in a way. And I feel like there is something that needs closure, and that's what kind of this is, because I think something's happened, pile 3, and now we're needing to come to terms with something, and it's like what we do at this pivotal point is what's going to matter or manifest here for us. Again, this thing could, you know, we were in the accident. Do we go and shy away because now we have no legs and hermit ourselves? This is coming out in the same analogy I used in, I think it was Capricorn reading, okay? So you might be resonating with Capricorn here, but it's like, what do we do now in the situation we are? Do we continue again, like I said, to close our eyes, to distract, to not see here? But there's something here that's still needing to be addressed here, okay? The bubbling desire left in the brewing rain, because the universe is calling you to do something here, and it's in front of you. And when you get called to the horn here, you can make, like magician, you can make something out of it that's going to be positive for you, or you can make something out of it that's going to be negative for you, what you find negative or what you find positive, like in experience, right? Because again, nothing's negative or positive, but in experience. Are you going to enjoy the experience from here on in, or are you going to not enjoy the experience from here on in? Or we could pretend to be, I don't know, zoned out here or whatever this is, but inside there is something bubbling desire left in the brewing rain. So we know we can't lie to ourselves, because we can't run from ourselves. We could, you know, we could pretend, and sometimes we're so disconnected from ourselves because our ego, and the ego doesn't have to mean I'm arrogant and heavy ego in that way. Ego is where we are hanging on to something here to protect ourselves. And what are we protecting? We're protecting our ego, our ID, or who we think we are here, because of if we face something here, then what? What's going to happen? You know, is the world going to explode? Or are we going to then think less of ourselves? What is this thing that we're doing here? Okay, we're doing something here, and we're doing it to ourselves. This is what I feel. Okay, so you might have to go watch Capricorn. I don't know. Maybe not. Anyway, I see fire here, so you might also be connecting with Aries, Leo, Sag. But I think this is more beef. Will be more like fire. Be more like fire here, okay? And fire is someone who actually does something here. Maybe you need to get fired up. I feel like this person is distracted. Okay, I know that's not what this card says, and sometimes you get from this, it's like distracted because they're intentionally focused on something that is helping them not focus on something else. It's like if I stare at the wall long enough, the other room's not on fire. I'm going to stare at this wall, and I'm going to pretend that there's no fire going on in the other room. Meanwhile, they know that they're going to have to do something here, okay? I mean, you don't have to do anything, but I just feel like there's something here about not seeing that, something that they're needing to be called to see here. Things are blazing up. Things are blazing, and you're the master magician, okay? Magician, Gemini, Virgo, Mercury, needing to be formless in a way that allows things to naturally flow. This, I feel resistance because we're fighting it, suppressing it, or doing something to distract it from not coming. So Mercury, the formless, you know, Mercury energy, but it's also communication, and it's also talking about timing with the magician and the Mercury. So that means we have to communicate something here, and now's the time, because now we're recognizing something. We're recognizing something within ourselves. So what do we want to do with it? Same old or something? Do we want to alchemize it into something else? Okay, we are master magician. We empower ourselves like the emperor. So we have full moon in Virgo. Take inspired action. That's exactly what I was saying. Emperor, taking action. Be like Mercury, so you can allow things to happen. But fire is inspired action. That is emperor. That is needing to do something now. We don't want to sit here and stare at the wall or keep playing video games when, you know, people around us are saying, hey, like the sky has fallen here, or whatever's happening around you, and you're just like, doo. So take action. I think you want to take action here. I think you really do. I think you really do. Maybe this should be about how do you take action. You're being called to take action here, pile 3. Neptune, vision. Look. This look is very intense here, okay? I think you're seeing something now. You might be seeing the error of your ways, or you might be seeing something within yourself. I don't think you're acting on it, though, but you're seeing it. That's the first step. You saw something. You can't unsee. That's what this is. It's not in reverse judgment. You might see it in the tarot. You might see the Emperor in the tarot. You might see the Magician in the tarot. You might see a lot of fiery wands in the tarot. You might see the Ace of Cups in the tarot here, okay? But I feel like this Ace of Cups isn't fully there yet, and this, to me, Ace of Cups is self-love, okay? I don't feel you're at the self-love level, and you might tell yourself, I love me. Deep down, do we love me? I don't know, because I feel like there's a disconnect, that there's something you need to address within yourselves, or else why do we distract, or else why do we do the bad habit, or else why do we pretend something here is good for us when we know it's not, right? So this is the lesson of self-love, of giving ourselves what we need, feeding our cup, allowing ourselves to feed our cup, or allowing other people who want to fill our cup to fill our cup, but receiving it, being receptive here, okay? We have issues maybe being receptive. So we're now acknowledging, and like I said, this is in the upright, so I think you're seeing it. You're seeing it. You're having the vision. Now it becomes, what do you do? How do you take inspired action? How do you become the master magician here? Okay, because you're inspired to do this in some way, or you feel it. The flames are bubbling here. Okay, so what do we have? Observation, 34. You're seeing it. You're seeing it. 34, and like I said in pile number 2, 43 came out, and sometimes the numbers go crisscrossy on me. Numbers, yeah, I mean, sometimes you guys ask me why I'm reading numbers here. Numerology, I mean, I'm not a numerologist, but this is how I intuit, okay? Like, I don't know, I saw 43, now I'm seeing 34, the numbers are crisscrossing, that's mirroring, that's doing shadow work, that's reflecting observation, okay? observation. How are we creating our abode? How are we creating the environment around us? You know, what we look around and then we say, what have I built here? Is that reflective of who I am? Judgment, being very honest, not distracting, saying, yeah, this will do. Meanwhile, we built a stanky ass web right below maybe something that's dangerous for us, but we continuously build in an area maybe where we shouldn't have, or we continuously allow it to continue in some way. But I think you're needing to be aware of your surrounding, being aware of where you're intentionally putting in your energy, intentions. Be very, allow yourself to be purposeful in intention, but are your intentions and your purpose directed at the right thing here, or is it a reactionary thing we've been carrying for ourselves that we're telling ourselves is how we have to be or how we've always been? Is it stemming from our self-love at a core level? Does it make us feel good? So we're now seeing these things. We're observing ourselves in a way we might have never observed before. The electric, creative expression. Creative expression. Allowing our true self to come out, however it comes out. The electric, 5-5. Okay, we have 7-7 rebirth. Oh my, what are the chances, you guys? These things, energies coming out, this rebirth. Are you Phoenix rising here? 7-7. 7 is luck. 7 could be your lucky number here, okay? I am at life path number 7, and that's all about going down a path of our calling, our destiny, where we're supposed to be kind of going. Life path 7s, they follow in their true calling. Okay, so I feel like you're being rebirthed here because you've been living in maybe someone else's idea of who you're supposed to be, or living out your parents's or your ancestors or your training here in the matrix world, whatever you were fed here to who you have to be or how you have to be. It's what you're kind of doing, I feel. And I feel like you're now being rebirthed here out of that state. You're now transforming out of that state. And we see a butterfly here, which means the transformation has happened in some way. But look, it's chained. So we're resisting, or are we breaking free? And the choice is ours to make. Personal freedom unleashed. Personal freedom, about self-love, about self. And I feel, because I saw the butterfly, which means it's already transformed, and then I saw the chain, which means it's held back in some way, not allowing the butterfly to transform, and then I saw that the chain broke. So I think that's where you're at. You're at, do you want to stay chained to something here because it feels safer, or because that's what you know, or now that you see it and you recognize it, now it becomes, how do you take inspired action here? Because you can break the chain here and allow the phoenix to rise. Personal freedom is unleashed here. Creative expression. Have we communicated? Coming through with the magician here about communication. Maybe it's just communicating something here. Okay, I think it goes way deeper than that, but that could just be the first step here. Expression. But I feel like this creative expression is revealing our true self, but it's now on the outside, and that's what this is. So pile number 3, this is really deep. Okay, aside from the deep stuff I was talking about here, it's like maybe all we're needing and being called to do here in order to break the chain could be something as small as, could be a lot of things, as small as, with this personal freedom unleashed, this creative expression, it is, we might have never been able to express ourselves on the outside to someone else, or even maybe be vocalizing something here that is our true depths, because it was so suppressed. So it might just be out in the open to us, or on the outside, where I think this is outside of ourselves, is what I think, expressing to someone else. Because I think, well, one, you got to be aware of it within you to be able to express it on the outside. So I don't know where you are in your journey. I think you're aware of it. And for some of you guys, you really then are being asked, like, now what do you do with that? Okay, maybe, I feel you've done this self-work. And I feel like you're already aware of it. But it's now, what do you do with this information? Because it needs to leave yourself. It needs to go out of yourself towards, I don't know, the situation. But now you need to communicate something here that's your true self here. communicate something that releases something within you, then it allows for the rebirth. It's like the cork on the bottle. Yeah, the electric. It's like it propels something forward here, but it's like like stuck here. Okay, so it might just need that little thing, and then everything kind of opens up here, but need to take action. Emperor. Why? 31. We might be asking ourselves a lot of questions. You know, we might be asking ourselves why. But I feel like what this card is saying is, I don't think we need to understand so much the why here. And maybe that's where we're hung up, is we're trying to get answers here in a way that keeps us held back, is kind of what I feel. Look, this book has wings. Okay, it's kind of a sense of freedom in knowing. And I think you want a sense of freedom from knowing something. You're trying to get your freedom from understanding why. But I don't think that is going to give you freedom. I think your personal freedom here is allowing yourself to express something as you know it, whether it is, I don't know, whatever it is, it's your truth. It's coming from within you, okay? And that's what's going to set you free. Not a sitting here understanding why, because I think this is it. He's contemplating, like I said, staring at the wall, saying, why is there a fire in the other room? Like, or why, you know? I don't know. He needs to understand something here before he can do something. And I think this why is getting you hung up here. Orphaned. 5. This is like abandonment card here, okay? 5 is challenges. It's also about changes and transformation. We have 5, 5. We have 5 here. And we have a rebirth. And a rebirth takes a lot of change and transformation. And that's what's happening here. And with the orphan, like, do we feel abandoned by something here? Do we feel alone? Orphan can go back to childhood. So something to do with the childhood here that impacted us greatly. We might have abandonment issues. Maybe we need to ask ourselves, is what we're doing here stemming from a place, why we're staring at the wall or doing the addiction or whatever it is that we're doing here that's distracting us or not allowing us to do what it is in our greatest expression here and our greatest authentic thing that's going to set us free. We're going to look and we're going to say, is it stemming from this? We don't need to know why it does. Maybe we just need to understand that it does. It stems from being abandoned when we were younger. It stems from maybe a fear of abandonment. Maybe it stems from something, but that's why maybe we wear the mask, or maybe we're pretending to be something we're not, or maybe that's why we're stone cold here and we're stoic about something. Look, the space in the stone, we're like frozen. We're frozen here. Which doesn't allow for this, right? It's like, how frozen can I be? How can I pretend I have no feelings? That's kind of what I'm getting. How do I pretend like I'm not really panicked, that there's a fire going on beside me? And maybe you really truly believe that you're not panicked, that there's a fire beside you. But I call bullshit, because there is a fire going on here. And it's like, you're needing to address this in order to free yourself. And yeah, you don't have to panic, but there's a need to take action and say, okay, there's a fire here, and and now, you know, we're letting that out. But we don't, like, sit in a state of in denial here. If I don't look at the fire, it doesn't exist. I don't know why I'm yelling at you guys. Pile number 3. But I'm not yelling at you guys. I'm kind of just expressing the energy coming through here. Okay, the full moon's got me really funny here. Got me really funny here, channeling other tarot readers and other energies. Okay, so we're going to pull the tarot here to get a little bit more here for you guys. Pile number 3. This is a very kind of romantic type tarot deck for what I'm reading here, and maybe the romance is to romance ourselves in some way, because I figured since I pulled on this, it just kind of came to me. That one's sliding. I think it wants to talk. Same with that one. Pulled this one. I thought, oh, this might be the romance pile. I don't know. Maybe this is about romance. I don't think so. I think it's about yourself, self-love here in some way. But, you know, this is my romance deck. So we got 2 cards. We're asking Spirit for a clear and concise message here. What further does pile number 3 need to hear about here in this? Feeling these. Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. Pile 3. Oh my goodness. You're like, I'm clicking off this video. Ranting Linda is on its way. I'll try not to rant, but I'm going to give it to you straight. Okay? You can pause, go get a tea, go get a drink of water, because this is going to come out however it does. And I don't know how long it's going to take. Beautiful pile 3. Let's take a look. So we have the artist. What is this? Creative expression. That's what this is all about. Okay, and I have to turn it around because I feel there's a block here in expressing ourselves authentically. That's all. That just repeat, rewind, go back to that part where I was saying you need to allow something to come out, your authentic self. Look at High Priestess. High Priestess. What is the High Priestess? All about our subconscious, something we've shoved down, something we might not want to see to ourselves, but we know. And look, she's gripping on that book. Dang it, trying to grab onto that book. So maybe there is some piece of knowledge that you already intuitively know. You don't need to be taught it. But I am getting from this is like, okay, you already know this knowledge. You're sitting asking why. Still, I don't think you need to ask why. But now with this knowledge, it's like, what are you going to do with that knowledge? Because your intuition is telling you what you're supposed to do. So I think you already know. You have the information. I think you have the information you already need. You don't need more to set you free. See the wings. The knowledge sets you free because it's what you do with that knowledge. And your intuition saying, hey, pile 3, this is what you need to do. Now, whether you do it or not, it's going to be up to you. But Spirit's saying, take action here. Okay, you were the master manifester here. That's how you get this personal freedom. It's what you do with it, not just saying, okay, acknowledge it. But it's like, okay, acknowledge, which is great because that's the first step. But what do we do with it now? Do we repeat the cycle or do we make a choice different here in order to make a change here? 4 of Pentacles. This is again, staying in the comfort zone, having a very difficult time releasing something, the idea of something, the way we are, or choosing to kind of stay in that energy rather than loosening our grip and allowing ourselves to go elsewhere here, which might feel a little uncomfortable. But 4 of Pentacles is coming from a lack mindset because we fear that if we were to let go or move in a different direction, something's going to happen, something we might not like, something that's out of our control, something that now would, once I put it out there, it's all out of my control. It's like, yeah, but you don't need the control. That's all ego-based, right? Okay, 4 of Pentacles, loosen the grip. Let's not hang on to some sort of comfort zone here. Okay, 8 of Pentacles in reverse. So this is all about putting in the energy and the effort and the time and the dedication into something. And I feel it's the self. It's the self. So it's in reverse. Have we been neglecting putting in the energy that we're supposed to, or the time we're supposed to, towards the healing that we're supposed to do here? I mean, you're watching this. I think you are. But have we given up on ourselves? Have we said, it's not worth it? Or are we looking at this situation specifically, since this is what we're talking about, whatever it is here that we're distracting ourselves from or not wanting to acknowledge in the situation, and saying, I won't even try because I don't have it in me. But you do. That's the thing of it, right? But I feel like there's something here about giving up and not, maybe we're giving up on ourselves by doing this. So we think we're actually protecting ourselves and we're choosing ourselves. We're not. We're not choosing ourselves at all. We're choosing to not put the energy and the effort towards our healing and the greater version of allowing ourselves to release this pentacle. Although you think, well, no, I have 3 instead of 4. And it's like, yeah, but once you release that, you get to a 10 of Pentacles. Okay, whatever that is to you, that's your own sense of security and your own stability and legacy here for the future. Do you want to have 4, which is always feeling like it could be taken from you at any moment? Or do you want to feel free to roam around and not be in this state and have like 10 pentacles? Because it's coming to you. You just have to release, okay? And, we went from 4 and we're not allowing ourselves to go to 8. 8 is where we're put that energy, that work into self, so we can get to the 10. The Devil, that's the release, need to release. It's in reverse, okay? So reverse cards could be that energy in an intense way, or it could be we're on our way to healing and coming out of it. I feel like you're in a really stuck devil energy, okay? And the judgment here is, how do we release ourselves from the grips of the devil? How do we release ourselves? This is devil energy, the chain, the binding chain that keeps us back so it doesn't allow us to transform. This is the addiction. This is the rather be distracted. This is the unhealthy thing that we're doing here, whatever it is. The fact that it's distracting, or the fact that it's suppressing, or the fact that it's not acknowledging, the fact that it cannot express its creative self for whatever reason is not healthy. And Spirit is saying, It's time to come out of this thing, okay? And maybe we just have to put in the energy. Maybe we have to acknowledge it and do something here. Do something here. Take inspired action. Look at that, 10 of Swords in reverse. So has something ended here for you? Pile number 3, you know, and it's painful here. And we're not allowing ourselves to fully close out a cycle here because 10 of Swords in reverse is very, very painful. And then we heal from this moment of recognizing an ending of something in reverse. It's like we're needing closure on something here that might have come to an end, or we're having to close out something, right? Hanging on really tightly, maybe to something that needs to end. And what needs to end is whatever devil thing we have that we think we can maybe hang on to, but rebirth, let it go. Rebirth, rebirth. The universe is calling you. Judgment, that's what this is. Rebirth, rebirth, rebirth. Calling you to this new you. Okay, but we're hanging on to the old us. We're not letting it die out. We're not releasing it. Knight of Swords in reverse. This need to take inspired action. That's what the Knight of Swords does. Okay, very inspired, fights a cause, goes guns a-blazing, doesn't back down, and moves forward here and takes action. There's no hesitation. It's blocked. We're not taking inspired action. We're blocked from doing what we know intuitively we know we're supposed to be doing. Okay, we feel it. They're all repeating the same things here. 9 of Pentacles. Okay, so look, 8 to the 9. The 9's all about self. Okay, self-stability, building self-security here in reverse. So it's like we might have a false sense of self-security because of this. So we think we're this. I'm secure, I'm stable, I'm on my own, I'm able to manage it as a single person here because I have control. It's all an illusion, my friend, because you don't. What has control is your trauma. What has control is whatever's making you be distracted and whatever unhealthy things here. That's what has control. So you're really not in control. You're really in a dependent state here. Dependent on your trauma for handling you. I know this is really intense, you guys. I don't know if you're still here, but this is the energy around you. Maybe not you, maybe energy around you, but that's what's pulling through here. All right, what else do we have? The Chariot. Yeah, universe wants to help move you forward. Okay, the light attribute, the dark attributes here, and this is integrating both sides of yourself in order for you to be successful, to move forward, to be victorious in your situation. I see victory here, but what you need to do is take action in order to know how to alchemize your own internal self. How do you take what's not working, pull it? Because, I mean, you can't change overnight, but you can certainly pull it, be aware of it, and do something with it. So now you know how to work with it. You know how to work with it so you can move forward. You don't want to be stuck. You need to move forward here, okay? And I think that first step here is this expression, allowing it to leave yourself and go outside of yourself here. That's how you integrate that, right? 7 of Pentacles. This is giving up before we even got started. This is not putting in the energy. You know, this is us not thinking we're worth it for some reason. So if we don't put in the energy, if we don't put in the effort, if we don't water and nurture ourselves, if we just give up on ourselves, then what happens? Then we don't get to harvest our 10 of Pentacles. We stay stuck in a 4, and this doesn't look comfortable. It's like I got to stay in this crouched position. Like she's on her tippy toes, squatted like this. I can't even do that for more than a second before I start getting cramps in my legs. So you don't want to be like this. You want to be comfortable here, okay? You were master manifester here. We didn't see the Magician at all. We didn't see the Emperor at all, but this is how the storyline, and it was like hammering home this. So maybe this, I don't know, if I got to keep repeating this to you guys, then this is what I got to repeat to you. Maybe you need to hear it just like that. But we talked about reflection. We talked about full moon. We talked about we still need to reflect on. Maybe you still need to reflect on this, right? And taking inspired action is going to be different for you guys, but I do feel like it is your own self coming out in some sort of communication form. That's what I feel. Because look at this guy, his mouth's closed shut. Like, he's only seeing, he's aware, he's observant. Yeah, it's like, I'm going to see, I know, I'm intuitive, I absorb. And then look, even her, she looks kind of like him. It's like, but I'm not going to say anything So what, you're gonna bottle that whole thing out? I think there's like something here that needs to explode, man. It needs to explode. It needs to ignite. Okay, something's igniting within you. Let it explode. You're gonna implode before you explode here. Pile number 3. All right, so I think we should get some advice. I was gonna wrap up, but I do want advice. I'm gonna put these back, and the advice here is, how do you go about it? Maybe there's some insight on how you go about it. I don't know. Advice. Final words here, advice. Anything further that is unclear for 3? What are they hung up on here? Because something is corked. They need to hear something clearly from you, spirits. How do they uncork themselves? We have the moon in reverse. Yeah, it's like the deep down subconscious. Absolutely. Uncorking themselves, because this is, you know, the fear, the subconscious. This is like releasing that. This is getting clearer. This is stepping out of an illusion we might have. This is us now allowing the gases from our subconscious to come up here so we can deal with it in some way. 10 of Swords. We have to come to terms with the ending of something. And I think the ending, because we were seeing 10 of Swords like this, you know what that is whatever you're hanging on to there for dear life. It needs to come to an end. Whatever that is for you. It could be that devil unhealthy thing you're hanging on to, okay? Hanging on for dear life. But false sense of security. You got to come to terms with the ending, no matter how painful. And look, 6 of Cups. Oh, and then the reverse is so unhealthy. You know why? Because this is telling me that you're hung up and you can't move on from a person, place, or thing from a childhood. Because that's how you learned to be. So it's like you're stuck in that being how you were when you were 1 here. For whatever reason, you have an attachment to it. Because that's how we were taught how to be, you know. It's like it doesn't allow us to move on, and it could be like we're stuck on a memory of the past of how it was, or who we were, or how we're supposed to be in the past here, and now we can't move forward. Something needs to come to an end here, okay? This is not letting you move forward. This is unable to move from a feeling, from a thought that we have here, and that might just be the illusion. The illusion here is that this is some big wonderful thing here that could be or could still be, you know, that we can't detach from, but it's not what it is anymore. I think it needs to be released. Like, enjoy the fact that you experienced whatever said thing was, but I'll see it for what it is and put an end to it. Doesn't mean that the memory is going to fade. It just means now you can move forward from it and be more productive for yourself here. But I think you're hung up on some memory, some person, place, thing of the past that has its grips of hell on you, okay? Learn to accept. I know it's painful because this doesn't look fun at all. That's what Spirit's saying. It's very painful, you know, but I don't know. Like, I feel as though it's more, yeah, what Spirit's saying, because what I think is helping you to release, what's going to help you to release is understanding that ragging on and ruminating and sticking here is more painful than you actually allowing it to go. Surrendering, releasing, saying, okay, yeah, it hurt, but I feel you're going to hurt constant in the state you're in. It's more painful because it doesn't allow you to free and heal from those 10 swords that are in your back. One more card. One more card for beautiful pile number 3. King of Wands. What does the King of Wands do? It takes his power in his hands. It's like the mini emperor here, because the King of Wands, again, acts with intention. And it takes inspired action here to do the right thing. Take inspired action to do the right thing for himself. Regardless of what it is here, the King of Wands does something for himself. You know, and it might feel a little out of your comfort zone here, but because you put yourself out there. The King of Wands needs the confidence to do so. But he doesn't get nerves thinking, well, how am I going to appear when I do it? He just does it, and he's successful here. Yeah. Lots of passion. Okay. And look, 2 lions facing east and west. Courage. I think you have courage all around here. I think you're able to see things. So now it's time to, you know, recognize here what your environment is kind of doing to you with this little chameleon gecko thingy. I don't know if it's a gecko or a chameleon. I'm getting kind of chameleon, which kind of forms to its environment here. And, you know, maybe there's a way you can form to your environment in a way that you get what you want here by acknowledging something here, or recognizing maybe your environment is changing you in a way here, not allowing you to be your true self. I don't know, something about your environment here, okay? And you kind of changing here. So that's that rebirth. Are you changing only on the outside, or are you changing on the inside too? Are you adapting to your environment, or are you not allowing yourself to adapt because we're stuck? Take your power back, pile 3. All right, I love you guys very much. If you're drawn to another pile, I will see you there. If not, have a beautiful blue moon, super moon, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe if you haven't. I will see you soon. Bye.